Going to continue to monitor this storm as it rolls through the area. Again, tornado could be rain wrapped. A lot of heavy rain happening with this storm cell that we're keeping track of. This storm cell currently on course to be for Westmoreland, Fostoria, Oldsburg. Even the Wheaton area could see this as it continues to push into that northeast movement.
And just for our listening area, just an update, we've had 5 confirmed touchdowns of a tornado tonight. We've had 2 in Washington County in the Palmer area. We've had a touchdown south of Waterville, just on the outside of Blue Rapids to the east. And then the touchdown of a tornado just north of Wakefield. And that's the storm that continues to move in through our listening area, as Stephen just mentioned, to the east of Leonardville. So what that would mean is Randolph, Oldsburg, you guys are next for a potential of a tornado heading into your area.
I'm beginning to see signs of rotation right around the Riley area now, here kind of on radar. So we're going to continue to monitor that. It looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning now coming in. So we're going to monitor this tornado warning as I give you this information for the new severe thunderstorm warning. This one's going to be for all of Dickinson, all of Geary, southwestern Riley, northwestern Morris, southeastern Clay counties until 6:30 tonight. At 5:54, a severe thunderstorm was located over Chapman, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. This storm bringing ping pong ball size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is going to include southwestern Manhattan, Olive Junction City, Abilene, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Chapman, Riley, Enterprise, Milford, Woodbine, Carlton, Milford Lake, Keats, and Moonlight, as well as I-70 between mile markers 272 and 315. So again, a new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Dickinson County, Geary, southwestern Riley, northwestern Morris, and southeastern Clay counties.
Started out as a weird day. You rarely see schools get out early because of the potential of severe weather. There's been, sporting events that have been postponed to the next day, including right here in Manhattan, around the surrounding area. They're going to postpone a day because of this weather. It was highly anticipated, and for what we expected that could happen. Stephen, you gave me the heads up yesterday that it could be bad. It certainly could be worse, but with multiple confirmed touchdowns of a tornado, it's obviously one of the more significant days we've had, with the exception of others, including the Westmoreland tornado. It's definitely one of the crazier days we've had in our area in quite some time.
It's not every day that you get issued a moderate risk for severe storm development. That is a level 4 out of 5. The only level above that is a high risk, so moderate's pretty bad already. I would not like to see a high risk at any point in my lifetime, but under a moderate risk for severe storms and under a decent risk for tornado development for strong to severe tornadoes in the area here, as we are kind of expecting things to continue to develop throughout the evening here tonight. It could definitely get worse. We're just kind of playing it by ear at this point in time.
We're still in a supercast here on News Radio KMAN, B1047, Z96.3, Sunny 102.5, and 101.5 K-Rock. Continuing to monitor a tornado warning in effect until 6:30 for northwestern Riley, northwestern Potawatomi, east central Clay. And as Stephen mentioned, the last noticeable rotation was around the Riley area, but is, of course, on the track. Leonardville would be in the area, or be in the path, along with Frankfort, Oldsburg, all that area in this warning. It stretches all the way as well to Westmoreland, who Westmoreland really hasn't seen a whole lot quite yet. It's still developing and potentially heading into that area.
And it looks like pea-size hail now coming down in the city of Riley. So if you're out in Riley, that pea-size hail is there. Still seeing some indication of rotation. Waiting to see if it tightens up at all here, but there is definitely indication of rotation just due southwest of Riley. So that storm might be trying to put something together this evening, so we're going to continue to monitor that one very closely and wait to see what the National Weather Service says.
For the first time in hours, Clay County really not dealing with anything right now other than whatever may have happened with the touchdown of a tornado in Wakefield, just north of Wakefield. Well, right now with the radar, Clay County is certainly getting a break after having hours of weather passing through. But right now, a lot of Riley County is covered. If you just want to look at the general radar of at least some rain or a significant thunderstorm. But again, it's a tornado warning that's currently passing through the area. Hopefully Riley was unscathed, and depending on where that rotation is, again, still in the path is Leonardville, Randolph, and Oldsburg. Do not take this lightly. This is a dangerous storm.
Absolutely, and it's already had the history of producing a tornado, putting one on the ground, and it could very well be rain-wrapped if it does put another one down. And so, again, we're seeing heavy bands of rain with this storm. So please exercise caution and take your tornado precautions at this time. Like I said, that rotation that I'm seeing here at least is just due south to the southwest of Riley. It's basically right below it here on my radar. And it looks like this storm is on path for the Oldsburg area, Fostoria, Randolph. Looks like it could skate by Westmoreland just to the east, or I beg your pardon, just to the west of Westmoreland. We just got to kind of wait and see how this continues to move through the area.
When it comes to Manhattan and you go on 24 East, right now it's all stayed to the north so far, but it kind of inches closer and closer and closer to Manhattan. It's now starting to, some of this storm is not severe portion of it, but it's starting to inch its way closer to Manhattan. Manhattan is just to the northeast, just to the outside of that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued a few moments ago that Stephen brought up. St. George, Wamego, continuing east to Bellevue and St. Mary's. Not in this quite yet. Right now, Louisville, just to the outside of this tornado warning. It really starts about 3 miles north of Louisville. Westmoreland is on the border of that. But again, we have not had a confirmed touchdown of a tornado, and except for the brief touchdown just a few miles north of Wakefield. But that storm continues to move to the northeast, past Riley. Looks like it's going to move, not really get close to Leonardville. And now we have an adjustment to the warned area. Leonardville, Riley, you guys are out of this, but Randolph, Oldsburg, Fostoria, Westmoreland, you're still in it.
Yep, absolutely. And we did receive that update for the tornado warning that's in effect until 6:30. This is now for north central Riley, northwestern Pottawatomie County. That severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Randolph, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So it's picked up a little bit of speed since our last update and our last radar sweep. So that would possibly indicate why I saw a little bit of rotation on the radar earlier. This is going to be for Westmoreland, Oldsburg, Randolph, and Tuttle Creek Lake, still in the path of this. Possible hazards include tornado and half-dollar size hail. So if you're out in these areas, you need to be taking shelter now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows, and if you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter to protect yourself from flying debris.
The pea-size hail that we got from reports in Riley is actually the first report of hail we've had in a little while. The largest hail that we've had earlier today was actually in the Minneapolis area. It was early on in the day. 2-inch in diameter size hail is the largest I've heard about today. Mm-hmm. There were reports that this storm could produce
like up to 3-inch, 2-inch hail. Yeah.
Large hail that we just quite haven't reached that yet. That's maybe been the underrated portion of what we heard about what today could be like has been the hail. Mm-hmm. But we'll take it with still... It could be another couple hours or so of significant weather moving through our area. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Again, if you're just joining us for our Manhattan Broadcasting Supercast, that's across News Radio KMAN 101.5 K-Rock, B104.7, Z96.3, and Sunny 102.5. Stephen Schaefer, Mitch Fortner with you this evening as we are in wall-to-wall coverage, currently covering a tornado warning that remains in effect until 6:30 tonight for north central Riley, northwestern Pottawatomie counties, for Westmoreland, Oldsburg, Randolph, and Tuttle Creek Lake. I also did want to make mention that we also do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect as well for all of Dickinson, all of Geary, southwestern Riley, northwestern Morris, southeastern Clay counties. Again, that is just a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30 tonight. That's going to include southwestern Manhattan, Junction City, Abilene, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Chapman, Riley, Enterprise, Milford, Woodbine, Carlton, Milford Lake, Keats, and Moonlight, as well as I-70 between mile markers 272 and 315.
And again, it's only a matter of time before this does impact Manhattan. Junction City, it looks like it's now being hit with a storm of it's not a tornado, but it is a thunderstorm with rain, and also Keats now getting it. Riley is and now Manhattan is probably starting to now experience, at least I would guess, some rain. And this will continue to push east-northeast. So it's just a matter of time before it continues to push down most likely Highway 24, but let's keep our fingers crossed that it's only at the most a severe thunderstorm, and hopefully the tornado stuff will start to die down and will continue to push out of our area. It looks like the line of storms that's southeast of Lindsborg. It feels like it wants to merge up with the area around Gypsum where these severe thunderstorm warnings start. But right now there's still some separation. Hopefully that path of what's happening to the southwest continues to just push east, and it doesn't continue to push northeast. It's shown some signs of wanting to just go east and not to the northeast, so that'd be good.
We do have an update from the National Weather Service regarding that severe thunderstorm warning. It just rolled in around 6:03. Severe thunderstorm located near Junction City, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts now, $half size hail. So this storm is starting to intensify tonight. So get inside because hail damage to vehicles is expected. You can expect considerable tree damage, wind damage, also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. So while that is not a tornado-warned storm, straight-line winds, 70-mile-an-hour winds are definitely not something to mess around with. So this will be for southwestern Manhattan, Junction City, Abilene, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Chapman, Riley, Enterprise, Milford, Woodbine, Carlton, Milford Lake, Keats, and Moonlight, as well as I-70 between mile markers 272 and 315. If you're in any of those areas that I just mentioned, might be a good idea to head inside for the night and just take shelter.
And just pointing this out, it looks like that tornado warning that's to the north of us in Marshall County and more towards the it's now moving towards the northeast, that there's been another touchdown of a tornado just to the northeast or northwest rather of Frankfort, more towards Winifred, I think is how you say that name.
Winifred.
So that'd be the same tornado has now touched down 3 times since being in the Waterville area, touched down around Blue Rapids and now Winifred. So I would assume there's got to be some reports of significant damage. If it's mostly to rural area, that'd be great, but I'm sure there's going to be some reports of damage coming in about this tornado. Multiple touchdowns, heavy winds, I'm sure, has carried on.
Absolutely. So a couple of tornado warnings in effect right now for the listening area, or at least one in effect, as the other one is kind of pushing more towards the fringe of our listening area here. We'll still pay attention to it as the night progresses, but right now a tornado warning still in effect until 6:30 tonight, so about the next 25 minutes or so for north central Riley, northwestern Potawatomi counties. I did want to mention that they dropped east central Clay from that tornado warning, so it is only in effect for north central Riley, northwestern Potawatomi counties. Again, that's going to be Westmoreland, Oldsburg, Randolph, and Tuttle Creek Lake.
And hopefully what I'm seeing is some weakening. Hopefully that is taking place. We'll see, but this just took a big jump to the east. So I wonder if, again, that was just what we talked about earlier. It takes a nice whip to the east.
Yep.
And then gets back on track and goes back to the northeast, and it continues on the same path as most tornadoes do and move to the northeast. But that means Oldsburg, significant thunderstorm on top of you right now. Fostoria would be in the path, and then Westmoreland, you could be in this as well.
Absolutely. And we also have that severe thunderstorm warning that's still in effect till 6:30 as well for all of Dickinson, all of Geary, southwestern Riley, northwestern Morris, and southeastern Clay counties. That's going to be for southwestern Manhattan, Junction City, Abilene, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Chapman, Riley, Enterprise, Milford, Woodbine, Carlton, Milford Lake, Keats, and Moonlight, as well as I-70 between mile markers 272 and 315. That storm now producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, $half size hail. It looks like we did get an update from the National Weather Service regarding the tornado warning that's off to our north for the Marshall County warning up there. They're saying that radar is appearing to suggest that the tornado moved north of Winifred and may have now dissipated. However, a new area of low-level rotation has formed southeast of the original tornado. That area is southwest of Axtell, so the tornado threat does continue in that area. So Axtell to Baileyville appear to be in the path of the new area of rotation.
One other thing I want to point out, this is not a warned area. This is a small storm, but anything popping up is catching my attention because these things have strengthened rather quickly. There has been a small storm that has developed right over the top of Miltonville. Now it's a little bit to the east, but it's right between Miltonville, Clay Center, and Morganville. And those folks, those are good old farm people out there, Stephen. They've already had plenty of rounds of severe storms, including dancing with chances of tornadoes that they've dodged every single bullet for the most part so far. Probably last they want tonight is another storm developing over the top of them, but we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, it's a simple one, but we'll see if it does decide to strengthen up.
Okay, it looks like, so that new updates for northwestern Nemaha, eastern Marshall. So that is really pushing our fringe coverage area here. We'll still take a quick look at it here. It looks like around 6:07, that severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Axtell, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Down to ping pong ball size hail and a tornado, just radar indicated rotation. So if you're heading that way, maybe hold back just a little bit as that continues to push out of the area here. But the main focus for tonight is, of course, that tornado warning that remains in effect until 6:30, so about the next 20 minutes from now for north central Riley, northwestern Potawatomi counties.
Yeah, we'll hang out with you for a while. And again, we haven't had any really significant updates or anything.
Knock on wood.
Still a warned area for sure. But, snuck by Riley and Leonardville. That was good. Randolph, it's staying to the east. Olsburg, kind of feels like the most significant part is right on top of you. Fostoria, you're doing okay right now. But again, this storm just took another big jump to the east. So it's moving closer to Westmoreland. So I'm just saying this is not a tornado another confirmed touchdown since Wakefield or anything, but this is still the warned area that it feels like it wants to move towards Westmoreland instead of more towards the northeast right now.
And it kind of looks like, at least from here, there they go. I just was about to say that the rotation looked like it was weakening severely on radar, so they have just dropped that tornado warning for the Riley County and Potawatomi County area. So that tornado warning for north central Riley, northwestern Potawatomi counties has been canceled. So that's going to wrap up Supercast coverage. Before we go, though, just as a reminder, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:30 tonight for Dickinson, Geary, southwestern Riley, northwestern Morris, and southeastern Clay counties. That's going to include southwestern Manhattan, all of Junction City, Abilene, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Chapman, Riley, Enterprise, Milford, Woodbine, Carlton, Milford Lake, Keats, and Moonlight, as well as I-70 between mile markers 272 and 315. Supercast coverage this evening brought to you by Candlewood Veterinary Clinic. Do severe storms stress out your cat or dog? If the answer is yes, relieve your pet's anxiety with the help of Candlewood Veterinary Clinic, caring for your pets like they're one of ours, and by Manhattan Wrecker Service. Manhattan Wrecker would like to remind you to slow down and make sure your lights are on while driving in inclement weather. Manhattan Wrecker, helping our friends and neighbors out of the ditch since 1955. And by Hummel Tree Service. Hummel Tree Service team of tree whispering heroes will chop and trim their way to perfection, leaving your trees looking so good the birds will even want to move in.